What up, Knights fam? Today we're talking how do you know when the relationship is over? We take a test, a 29-question test to determine whether or not me and Angelah's relationship is over. B joins in the fun. You're not going to want to miss this. You're going to want to take a pen, a paper, take the test with us, see where you're at with your relationship. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Here is Knights at the Round Table. And welcome to another episode of Knights at the Round Table. Tis your boy, MANWELL'S. To my left is my queen, Anjelah Johnson. To my right is my homie, Be Real.
Turn up.
Yeah. What up, y'all? Man,
Hi.
we just out here just chilling, you know. I recently turned 41.
Wow.
Big deal.
I feel like I'm doing things in my life. I'm 41. Wow. I have a dog.
41.
Several
Man.
properties.
Several properties.
You're doing all right,
we're
lover.
at a dead. I have this shirt on with foxes.
You're doing all right, lover.
Man,
And an eyeball. A random eyeball.
we're doing all right, babe.
And dice.
Don't ever disclude you from me because
Thanks, lover.
it's not how it is.
That's right, everybody listening.
We're drinking. We're drinking energy drinks because my co-host here are feeling a little less enthused.
Well, it's 100 degrees outside.
Yeah.
And the heat zaps you of energy.
Which you can kind of hear the room noise of the air conditioning in the back. So let that
Yes.
soothe you.
So, we're doing an energy drink.
Energy drinks it is, and I'm drinking my BCAAs. But we're here, man, doing some relationship series. And before we get into that, though, we're gonna bring to you a new book that B's reading.
What you reading?
What you reading?
Tell us.
Yeah.
I am reading this book called Detours by Dr. Tony Evans.
Doctor.
How he is talking about the unpredictable path to your destiny. And just a few days ago, I seriously injured myself. And a friend of mine who plays in the NFL had tore his ACL last season and said, hey, there was a book you need to read. I think it'd be a huge encouragement to you. This was the book he recommended. So I am barely in the first chapter. But he had something that was so good that it was like such a reminder. And it's interesting because I think most of the truths that we know in our lives, we don't really believe it until that's the only thing that we could hold on to.
Yeah.
So it's like until those things are really tested, like you don't really
Wow.
believe it. It's a good idea in your head and it makes sense. And it could provide a little bit of like comfort for you. But then when it's like you're in the place of like I'll give you an example. Like we pray for miracles all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But until you're in the position where a miracle is your only way out and God shows up, like
Sure.
that's different. So anyways, he's talking about detours. He's talking about destiny. And he says this. He says, it's an interesting thing that he opens up with, and I'm not going to take too long, but he talks about why Seinfeld was so popular. And there was this college drama department. They did a study on it. And they determined that the reason it was so popular was because of its plotless programming. And they concluded that Americans who lead plotless lives prefer plotless TV programs. That there's a plotlessness that exists in many of our lives today. We move from one scene, one circumstance to the next without purpose. We wander from high school to college, from college to our first job. We're dying to get married. Then we're dying to have kids. And then we're dying to get them out of the house. We're dying to retire, only to find out that we're just dying. Never having known why we were alive in the first place.
Shoot.
But this is the question. But what would life look like if we all lived with a purpose, with a destiny? How would we act and think differently if we saw God's hand in the plot of our lives, connecting one circumstance to the next in the tapestry of his will? And he says this, and this is the point. I believe it would affect it greatly because when you add purpose to the mix of pain and patience, it gives you the ability to push on. It gives you the ability to keep going when your get up and go has gotten up and gone.
Wow.
It gives you strength to accept and face your fears, your disappointments, and pain rather than seek distractions to avoid them. And so this journey that I'm going to be on for the next, probably next year of my life, it's like I have to really remind myself that there has to be purpose in this. Not that God needed to get my attention by me getting seriously injured, but there's something for me to learn in this, and understanding that is going to be the thing that is going to allow me to push through the pain and come out on the other side stronger. So for those of you listening, there might be a detour in your life right now.
Hey.
Understand that there's purpose. And when you have purpose, it gives that pain more than just the blunt trauma of it, you know? So yeah, Detours by Tony Evans. I'm excited to
That's
break
good.
Take that. Man, we're going to be talking about today, how do you know when the relationship is over?
Ooh.
There's probably
Shoot.
some of you within relationships right now,
Shoot.
and you're just hanging on, or you're literally thinking, is this how it's supposed to be? Like,
Right.
I seen the Notebook. This is not the same.
Yeah, is he over me?
You know, I seen 27 Dresses. This is not the same. I seen
Not
my
the
best
same.
friends. I keep going because this is my
I've
favorite.
I've seen
know.
Pretty Woman.
This is my favorite
Yeah,
genre.
yeah,
This
yeah.
is my favorite genre. And I looked up online and I was like, yo, I've never thought about doing this. But B looked up last night and was like, is my relationship over? Was one of the top Google searches in 2018.
Shoot.
So I Googled it, and what popped up was quizzes, a whole lot of quizzes. So I thought it'd be so dope if we took a quiz pretending to be, or we don't even have to pretend. Let's answer them for
we're in
real.
a relationship.
Yeah, we're in a relationship. Let's answer the real questions. And then B,
Let's-
you can answer too.
All right. Let's do it.
This one doesn't have a score at the end, though.
Oh, well
That's
then
the,
how does it tell you?
The 29 question one is the one that has. Let's do the 29 question. We can just.
Okay.
It's going to make you sign up for your results.
Yeah.
I'll be so pissed.
Subscription.
I'll be so pissed. Ready?
Please send your email.
The first question. Everybody, take this with us. Hey, wait! Right now, go grab a pen and paper or a pencil if people even have those anymore, or
Yeah.
just
If
or
you're
just
driving,
on your phone or mental memory bank. I'm
But
gonna give you a little bit of time to go get it.
is there
and
going to be a way for them to get their own score? Because we're going to give our answers, and it's going to give us.
Yeah, I mean, I can put this link in the bio so that
Okay.
they can do it.
Okay.
So go get your stuff, and while you're getting it, shout out to all the Patreon members. If you guys don't know, we're fully supported by Patreon, which is just a monthly giving thing where if you guys are getting any kind of value from this, then you guys sign up and you can give anything from $2 a month to $5 to $25 to $12 to $500. All depends on where you're at in your life, and we appreciate every ounce of it because it helps us keep going. So,
But
now
for
that-
now, we're going to see if mine and Manny's relationship is over.
ooh.
Doom, doom, doom.
Okay, first question, and you guys take this along with it. How often have you two been arguing? It's daily, basically, about 3 to 4 times per week, or it's weekly but not daily or anything. I would say maybe bi-weekly for us.
Yeah, yeah,
So I'm
yeah.
gonna have to go with the last one. I
Yeah.
think we've gotten a lot better at
Yeah.
not arguing,
Yeah,
mainly
yeah, yeah.
because I stopped thinking that you should think like me.
And mainly because I just ignore you.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
You do ignore me. Thanks, babe. When you argue, do you both say things you really don't mean? I do not.
I do sometimes.
You do. So I'm going to,
Sometimes.
you do. Yeah.
Sometimes.
I'm going to say no because I know how harmful it is. Because the two options is rarely. It's not a road we want to go down. And then no, because we know how harmful it is when we're upset. Oh, this is a we thing. So I'm going to have to say rarely because
Yeah. Rarely.
because of you. Thanks for lowering our score.
Yeah.
Are any of the arguments
Is there a question about blame in there? Because you're getting that one.
Are any of the arguments over very serious issues, or is it petty nonsense? Always petty to me. Most of our arguments are petty.
Yeah. Very petty. Our arguments are about the argument.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's real dumb. Well, why did you say this? Like, I didn't say it like that. No, you said this like this, and then we don't even remember what the original argument was. It was like, okay, why? No, you said this word.
Yeah. So I would say no. We've had serious issues before, but came
Yeah.
out alive. These days, we argue over petty nonsense. That's
Yeah,
us.
petty nonsense.
Do you still trust each other? Yep,
Yes.
Yeah.
for sure. How long have you two been dating?
Yes.
How long have you been dating? Well, we've been married. It says over 3 years, so I'm gonna put over 3 years.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you two achieve resolution on an issue, do you go back and revisit it later? Does that issue keep coming back time and again?
Yeah,
Not
that
anymore.
happens. Sometimes it comes
You think
back.
so? That's
I
really
mean,
at the
not
beginning of
often,
our relationship.
Not often.
I feel
Yeah.
it's like it's the beginning of our relationship. There's stuff like
So like
Yeah.
the serious issues, the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah.
Petty stuff, it'll be like the same petty thing over and over. Like,
but we don't really bring it back up. It doesn't, you know
well,
what I'm
you
saying?
didn't like how I spoke to you.
Yeah.
You know, that comes up a lot.
So, but the question is, does that issue keep coming back time and time again? Which means that it's at a frequency, like it's constantly. I don't know if there's anything that you do that I continue.
Oh, that's good. I'm getting better.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
before it was, but
That's true. I'd say the same thing for Maddie and I. I think it was, and it wasn't even necessarily like a ton of big things, but one of the big things that we would have these heated conversations on, we finally got past it.
yeah.
So now it's just like little like disagreements here or there.
Did you find the page too?
I did.
Okay,
I'm
good.
taking it.
Okay, so we're gonna put not anymore. We figured it out.
Okay.
The past is behind us because the other one is okay. Next one. Are you running out of patience? What would you
No.
guys say? I'm not.
Nah.
Nope.
I still love her.
When was the last time you went on a date?
Ooh. Well, we just went out
Recently,
for your birthday.
for my birthday, but I guess individually.
We've been doing group individually.
That would be a date. Was it our anniversary?
Well, I haven't seen you.
Yeah, we've been apart. So our anniversary in Nashville.
Yeah,
Yep.
a month.
Was it a month? I can't. Sometimes
There's
in the
only
last,
3, so there's I can't remember sometime in the last 2 weeks and this week. So I guess technically it'd be this week. But
Yeah, I can't. So I can't really answer that one because it was last month. So should we put sometime
say-
in the last 2 weeks?
yeah.
Yeah,
That makes the most effective. Because this is mainly because we weren't around each other.
yeah.
Okay, when was the last time you two did something nice for each other?
I mean,
You got me presents for my birthday.
Yeah, but that's your birthday.
Uh,
Do I do anything nice for you?
yeah. I mean, I guess this really depends on what you consider as nice. So I think you do nice things on the daily because, like, I'm a very much like I love affection and I love touch, and you're always being affectionate and touching, and so I consider that a nice thing. I don't really need things. Like I don't.
And I think you do nice things daily because you always push my feet when I ask you to.
I do always give you feet rubs, and I pretty much do anything you ask me to do.
Yeah.
I am your slave.
Yeah.
I love it though.
What would you say, V?
I would say daily, especially. I mean, I don't know how, and maybe honestly, I've probably been the problem in our marriage because Maddie is an angel, but like for some reason I'm just like, dude, how do you keep getting sweeter and sweeter to me? Like, I'm so grateful. Like, I mean, even like Sunday, like a couple hours before I got hurt, I was literally having this moment where I was high on life. Like I was driving in the Mustang, top down, and was just like, man, my life is amazing. Like, I love my wife. Damn, my wife is like, she's too good to me, you know? And so for Maddie, it's like this week with me not being able to do anything on my own, really. I mean, it's just been like every day, and I'm trying to do the best I can to like, you know, so I'd say daily, man. For sure.
I think it's so cute watching Maddie love on you is adorable. The other day when she got home, because Manny and I are staying at Brandon and Maddie's house right now.
Roomies.
Roomies. So anyways, Maddie got home, and it was funny because her voice and like her light up and her joy, I thought she was talking to Blue because she was like, how's my babe doing? And I thought she was talking to Blue, and I look and it was you. And I was like, she's so cute.
No, okay. The other time we because all we do is have conversations, especially before we go to bed. So the other day, B came home from somewhere, and we were all in the living room, and Brandon started telling a story, one that he already told us, told me and Maddie, but Ange just got there. So, you know, I always like to try to pay attention. I don't like being on my phone when somebody's telling me a story because that, for me, is my biggest pet peeve. So I like put my phone down and I'm listening, even though I already heard the story. And then something would ring on my phone, so I check it real quick, but then put it right back down. And then, you know, Ange is listening. And then I look at Maddie, and she's sitting on the coffee table, legs crossed, just staring at Brandon with a smile on his face. She was just like, not breaking contact at all. And I was like, Maddie, you already heard the story.
Yeah,
And she's just looking like he's saying something new. And I'm like, I love that, because anytime I play somebody a song or I say anything, like I appreciate that so much. So I noticed that, and I was like, oh, that's so dope. Okay, when you argue, do you guys come around quickly and talk it out, or is it just a yelling mess? Okay, so we used to have.
Yeah.
We would not
We got
talk
better.
for days.
We got better.
And by we, I mean you. And by
Yes,
we,
I
I mean
wouldn't
you.
talk to Manny.
And
We would get in an argument, and I would have so much pride and anger, and I wouldn't know how to process my feelings, so I just wouldn't talk to Manny for like 3 days. I would like try to hurt him
It was, like,
because I
days?
felt hurt. Oh, days.
Whoa.
I would, because I was feeling hurt, so I would try to hurt him.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm hurt. Like, guess what? Then you don't get to talk to me at all. Then you don't get to like be my friend, and like real petty, real immature.
yeah.
But I've grown.
Hey.
We don't do that
no,
now.
no. Like maybe a minute or two later, she's back.
I'll come back and apologize.
And I know that
go.
sounds like we're just saying that it's her issue. It's just in this particular place, I don't really get mad and yell and disrespect. I used to. I'm past that now. Now I give a look. I'll say something stern, and then I expect to be heard. And if I'm not heard, I'll just be stern, which still isn't. It might as well be yelling because she reacts the same way.
Yeah.
You don't like it when I'm stern, but I don't
No.
want to yell. I don't want to be disrespectful. I just expect you, when I get stern, to notice there is something that I'm doing that probably isn't a good thing. And then if she still wilds out, I'll just walk away mad before I get wild. But we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, we're better now.
What about you guys? I've never seen you raise your voice, Brandon, so I don't even know how any of that pertain.
I don't raise my voice.
I don't even know what you sound like loud.
No, I gotta be loud in my job because I'm
Yeah.
like yelling in gyms and stuff. But when I come home, I don't have any yell left in me. And
Yeah.
I'd be afraid to hurt Maddie. Like I really would. Like she's a little sweet baby angel.
And I've never seen her go above a, yeah.
I know.
When she talks to Blue, is
imagine.
the highest that her voice will
Yeah,
get.
it is.
But Manny already, his regular volume is loud.
Yeah, he's
like
definitely
his
like
parents
very passionate.
are loud and passionate. Just breakfast,
I
7
don't
a.m.
Speak
I would-
unless I'm speaking
I
about
would
something passionate.
hear them in the kitchen, just like arguing, but it's not arguing. They're just communicating. But to me, I'm like, oh my god, it's way too early.
Yeah.
I rarely shoot
for
the shit.
this.
If I'm gonna talk, it's about something that I care about. And if it's something that I care about, I'm going to be passionate.
I feel, but you could be passionate about the most random
I know.
thing. Dad, why did you lease this car? What were you thinking?
Makes me
Blah
upset.
blah blah, and like going off at 7 a.m. And
very
I'm like,
upsetting.
oh my god, what's happening?
It has
out there?
started.
So Manny's already loud and passionate. So I'm already like. I
You feel like you gotta match that?
Well, not that I gotta match it, but I'm sensitive to the raised voice. So the second it's like an octave higher or a little more passionate, or I see the nostrils flare, then I'm like, okay, bring it down, because I'm gonna get triggered.
But she's not sensitive to her own volume.
No.
Because she be getting hella loud.
Yeah.
And it does not startle her. She doesn't say, bring it down.
It's like you can't tickle yourself. You know what I mean?
Okay, so we're going to say, well, yeah, at first, maybe for an hour, and then we start actually to resolve the problem. There you go. So that's the answer.
Okay.
We should make our own quiz.
I know, right? Are you two still each other's best friends? Yep.
Yes.
Has there been any infidelity on either side? Nope.
No.
Technically speaking, no. Here's the answer. Sorry. Yes, there has been some infidelity, or technically speaking, no. But one of us has done something the other person really didn't like. We got past it though. That was me. I did
Those
that.
are the only two options?
Yeah, because I've totally done that. Because remember when I was being flirty with the yoga girl, and I didn't even know I was being flirty.
Uh-oh.
I was literally just being like, because, I had a certain personality where I'm like, I'm hella complimentary. I like bigging people up. And if it's a stranger, I'll do it to a stranger. I'll do it to a friend. I'll do it to a boy. I'll do it to a girl. I'm equal opportunity. I guess you would call, I don't even call it flirt. I like being nice, and I like bigging people up. I need people to know that they're awesome. Right. But if the right ingredients are there, i.e., it's to a single chick. The single chick is fly. The single chick thinks I'm fly. Then now it's encouragement. Babe, I didn't know it was what it was until you read it out aloud and counseling. And I was like, oh, that doesn't sound good. And then it was done. It was done. Because I was like, oh, the way she sees it, this isn't good. And then boom, done. Relationship cut. It wasn't no whatever. It didn't linger on. I realized, oh, this is what my wife doesn't like, this type of me being nice. Let me stop. And so I had to. We have to put technically no speaking or whatever.
Okay.
But we got past it. That's just being honest. Is there a lot of questioning? Wait, Brandon, what about you? Did you already answer that one?
Yeah, it would have been no.
Okay. Is there a lot of questioning, doubting, and skepticism going on? No.
No.
No, but I always am.
But do you mean it when you always say, do you even love me?
I just joking, but then also there's a little bit of insecurity. Like, just, it's so, and I'm so dumb. I thought about this the other day when you woke up and you're getting ready. And I woke, my eyes open. Typically when Manny leaves early in the morning, I'm asleep. I don't hear nothing. But I woke up and I open my eyes and I look at him and he looks at me, but then he just looks away. And I was like, he didn't even say good morning or anything. Is he mad at me? And then my eyes just opened 4.4 seconds ago. And I was like, oh my God, am I disgusting in the morning? Is my face greasy? Do I have pimple cream on?
I usually don't ever do that because I'm conditioned to not make noise and not wake her up, because I'll just start talking. If she gives me the window, I will start talking and asking questions and all this stuff. So when she wakes up, no matter what, if she says anything, I just stay quiet because I'm like, maybe she's sleep talking. And I try to get out of the room as quick as possible. So that's that. Okay, so no. Okay, do you still get excited to see each other after work or after a few days of separation due to work travels? Yes. Life for sure is better when she's around.
Yes. I think we're going to stay together after this quiz.
Hey, 14 questions in, it's looking good.
Do you two have inside jokes? Of course.
Yeah.
Yes, we confuse other people with them, or not really. We can never stop arguing to crack any jokes. Ours is the yes.
Yeah.
16. Do you two have the same end goals in mind for your relationship? Do you both want the same things like marriage, kids, moving somewhere else, getting a house, etc.?
Yes. My end goal is I want to sleep die next to Manny when we're old.
Yes. Me too.
I want us to both sleep die.
I want us to be old, walking down a road together, still holding hands, still being hella cute.
Would that road be here or somewhere out of the
I
country?
almost kind of feel like Spain or France is where I want to retire.
Yeah, that'd be kind of baller. I know.
But I only want to do it if our lifetime friends would be down to do it too. Like, I don't want to be over there by ourselves.
I would go for
I don't want to be.
I
I don't want to be 60 trying to find new best friends. Like, I want all of us to collectively be like, you know, we got all we needed out of America.
I would go for a few months and come back, but I can't leave my family. Are you kidding me?
No, babe. If we are able to afford a house in Spain, we can come back whenever the hell we want. I'm not saying we have to live over there forever, but I just see it in my mind. It's France. It's south of France. It's Spain. It's in Europe somewhere.
Yeah, that's our goal. Like, I low key look at properties in France.
Yeah,
like buying a chateau would be
I
like.
remember that one time
so
we were
baller.
together,
Yeah.
and I found that chateau for 2.3, and it was like 10,000 square feet. It was an actual chateau, and I was like, babe, we can sell our house and get this one.
There's some for a lot cheaper. Like, I found one. This is a extremely sidebar right now. I found one that was only like an hour 15 from Paris.
Ooh.
It was humongous. Like, I mean, it had the back house and everything and a ton of land, and it was only like $900,000. I mean, like 16 bedrooms. You're talking.
I mean, that's
like
euros, so that's more like 1.4, but still.
Yeah, still. You're
That's
looking
good.
an hour 15 from Paris.
I would do that. 30, 40 minutes out. Like, it's legit a goal.
I would want to. Okay.
Because then we can all go and stay there. Okay, anyways. So the answer is yes. 17. When it's time to make decisions, do you two include each other or do you take complete control? 1,000%. If you guys don't know me, any decision I make, from if I buy a pair of socks, if I buy another car, or if I buy another house, I ask Angela every single time. And if she says no to any one of them, I take it back or I don't do it. I'm a firm believer on we have to agree, because then if crap goes bad, there isn't any blaming going on. That's the worst toxic thing you can do, is let somebody else make a decision. It goes bad, and then all of a sudden, like, it's your fault.
I feel like I love and hate that. Like, I love that you consider me for all the decisions, and at the same time, when it's like, babe, should I order this or that? Or, babe, should I wear pants or should I wear shorts? Sometimes I'm like,
babe, that's a false, because I don't ask you about fashion. Come on.
Not ask me about fashion. You
Whether or
just
not I
asked
should
me the
keep
other day if you
something,
should wear shorts.
if I should keep a pair of
I'm
shorts.
just saying, like, there's times where
This is usually how it goes. I'll be like, babe, do you like these shorts? And then she'll be like, they're all right. And then I'll be like, do you like them for $250? Take them back.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes.
What about you, V?
Yeah, it's usually, I mean, not minor things like that. It's bigger things. But it's kind of cool because Maddie and I, we both feel like we could be individuals within our relationship. Mm-hmm. So a lot of those individual decisions, we are like, hey, you know what's best for you. I know what's best for me. But when it comes to things that would like actually affect us, then that's where it's like, hey, what do you think of this? Like, I need your input.
Yeah.
But the minor things, like, I mean, like, yeah. So it's cool. It's a good balance.
I need
There's
it. I need it. It's a habit
also-
for me.
There's also times where I think that I've brought up something to Manny, and I haven't. And I'm like,
The amount of things she does ask me questions for, I'm like, this is dumb. Why are you asking or telling me this? And then the things that she needs to tell me and ask, she doesn't.
and then I forget. Like, I've had the conversation with Jackie, my assistant. She's like my work wife, so a lot of times will have a conversation with her, and in my brain, I've checked it off. Okay, I talked to my partner. I talked about it, and then I'll be like, yeah, babe, I told you I was doing this gig. And he's like, no, you didn't. I'm like, yes, I did. And I'm like, oh, wait, I think it was Jackie I told.
So horrible.
Whoops.
Does either of you still dream about an ex? Maybe talk about an ex a lot. Think about an ex a lot.
Nah.
I don't really dream about exes.
Not
I think my exes are amazing, but I don't ever dream or think about them.
not like on a regular, unless it's like something's prompted it, like we've had a conversation or like a specific prompting.
I think what this is insinuating is, do you feel like there's one that got away and you ended up with
No.
You don't think that? There's a lot of people that are like, man, I messed it up with this person. I'm married and I'm happy.
That. I know that there's none that
I'm
got
saying
away
I think
from
this is
me.
what I feel like this is what this question is,
Oh,
is
yeah,
really
yeah,
Because to still dream is like this like active thing of like, man, I'm missing out. I would have had
Right.
it better with them.
Oh,
Right.
no,
Stuck
no,
in
no.
here.
Right. So I'm gonna say no. When you argue, does it last all day? Used to. Now it takes 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
Then it's
So the
fine.
answers are yes, most of the day, or it takes 1 to 2 hours.
Yeah.
So which one is you?
1 to 2.
Ours is it takes 1 to 2 hours. Do you two want to make it work for the sake of comfort, like you're used to each other, or is it about love and genuine wanting to be together?
Love.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Can't reach you.
It's for sure. The answers are we are used to each other, or we genuinely want to be together. We love each other. Yeah.
Genuinely,
Genuinely
wanna
love
be
each other.
Yep. Are you keeping any secrets from your partner?
together.
No. Me and Ange have adopted an absolute all-tell spicy, like whatever. She's in my head and I love it. It's embarrassing. It's sometimes it used to be shameful because I think there's thoughts that I used to have that I felt bad for, and then when I opened up to her and she opened up to me, now I just say whatever's on my mind. And I think if anybody was listening, they'd probably be like, oh my God, you should probably not say that. But I just find it so much more freeing when she knows the depths to which my mind will go, and then the heights to which my mind will go, and then I'm still there. I don't leave. I don't drop a bomb and say some crazy shit and then be like, I'm out. I don't want to be around you no more. You know what I'm saying? Like I say what I need to say. It can be as freaking crazy as hell, and then I'm right there. What do you need me to do? Who you need me to be? What do you need? And so it's different. I think when there are thoughts that you have or secrets that you have that take you away from your person.
Yeah.
And I'm so grateful for that. I'm grateful for the honesty, even when sometimes it's hard to hear. And I'm like, oh, this doesn't feel so good, but I'm grateful you're being honest with me. Thank you.
Yeah. So, because those secrets, man, I mean, Maddie and I, we have a friend and her husband just went through this like crazy thing, but she found out these 15 years later that before they were together, he had a real like substance abuse problem. I mean, like crazy drugs, not just like, hey, I drink here and I struggle with alcohol. Like that's a serious thing, not to downplay that, but it was like heroin, like cocaine,
Needles.
like, yeah, like all of that. And he never told her about that.
Wow.
Wow.
And so now he's back on this binge and like just like completely walked
Oh,
away, locked her out of the apartment,
no.
is like, you're crazy, and she's just like stuck.
And I get
And-
it. That's a shameful.
Yeah.
That's a shameful side of yourself. But if you're gonna do the wedding thing, if you're gonna do the marriage thing,
Yeah.
but you're gonna hide the worst parts of you.
Yeah.
Then it's like, why get married?
Yeah.
You know, it's
Ouch.
so, and it's shame that keeps us from saying it. It's fear. You know, can your other partner handle what you're about to say? But then it's like, if you don't say something, like, it's gonna freaking eat you up, or it's gonna make you feel like you're in prison.
Yeah.
I was talking to a friend, and this is somebody that I haven't met in person yet, but we do music together. And he just came out and asked me, he was just like, hey, what do you think about open relationships? And I was like, you know, if you want to, sure, let's, you know, whatever. I think, you know, spice it up if you want. And he goes, yeah, me and my wife are trying it. And, da-da-da-da. And I'm like, mind you, we've never had like a conversation outside of music. And he's like, yeah, my wife, you know, me and my wife trying it. You know, it's going pretty good. And, da-da-da. And then he just keeps talking. And so in my mind, I'm like, what was the first conversation like?
Yeah.
Of that thing? Because it was his wife's idea. And he's like, I went along with it, and it's working so far. And he was like, just kind of whatever. And we talked for like 5 minutes back and forth, and then we went on. And so I was like, okay, at some point, one of the two had to be insanely honest and be like, yo, I'm thinking this, and I kind of want to try this. And then he had to process it and get to the point where he can just easily just tell me, yo, yeah, we did this. What do you think? Because I pay attention to your podcast. What do you think? And it was a crazy conversation, but he's obviously in a very comfortable place where he's like, I can just talk about this easily.
Wow.
I feel like once you go there, there's no coming back. I mean, you can say, okay, just kidding, we don't want to be open relationship anymore, but you have now exposed yourself to other people. You have now invited somebody else into the recipe, even if you're like, okay, we're not going to do that anymore. It's been, I don't know. It feels
or you expose
so
yourself to a side of life that you think you really want. Like, we always think we want this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then you get there and you're like, I don't want this at all. This is actually It's like when people cheat. They think it's going to be so great because what they got at home is so whack. Then you go and cheat. And then you realize you're going to lose all this because the person's like, all right, I'm out. And then you realize, oh my God, I had everything. Yeah, you open yourself up to this little whatever, but then you also just put it on the scales. Okay, this is what cheating feels like with this person, and then this is my entire life gone. Mm-hmm. I'm sure the sex was good for the 3 minutes that it lasted, or the 15 minutes, or whatever wild sexual thing you had, but you're now thinking it wasn't worth the 15 years that I just threw away, or the 20 years that I threw away. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think I think people, when it comes to open relationships, people always think, oh, it's just this. But I was watching a show once, and they were like, there's some open relationships where it's just like, this is my movie partner. And that's literally their relationship, because the wife doesn't like going to movies. So he goes to movies with this person. Never gets physical, never gets whatever, but they literally go out all the time and watch movies. And the wife's like, cool, because it's like, I don't want to go watch movies.
Interesting.
And he's super honest about it. I'm going with so-and-so to watch a movie, you know. And
I feel like even then, I wouldn't. What happens when you catch feelings? What happened? Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's tough. I know for me, it wouldn't work. And I think there's even one point where I was like, yeah, I wonder what that would be like. Like, not that I was seriously, like, thinking about planning or going that direction or whatever, but I think for me, like, it is a whole lot easier, cleaner, fulfilling that Maddie is my person, my aim of where my desire and my affection is flooding towards. Mm-hmm. And that is a lot easier for me than having multiple things where I'm spacing out my desire. I'm like, you get affection, you get affection, you get affection. Yeah. Like, it's just easier, cleaner for me. So no shame to anyone who, I mean, you could balance that.
Yeah, if it works, it works.
You. Yeah.
If it works, it works. Have you ever caught your partner keeping secrets from you?
No.
One
of the answers is yes. That's why I keep secrets now.
Yes, that's why I keep secrets now. Or no, usually it's them forgetting to tell me something small, never big things. Yeah. And even for the yoga thing, it wasn't even like I was trying to keep it from you. I just genuinely didn't think I was doing anything wrong. So then I found out. Do you get along with each other's friends? Yep.
Yeah.
We tolerate each other's friends, or yes, they're fine. I mean, I like all your friends. I don't think there's.
And I like Most of your friends. No, I'm just kidding. I like all your friends. I had, of course, I had issues with a friend in the beginning, but
We worked it out.
we worked it out.
Do you get along? Question 24. Do you get along with each other's families? Yep.
Yes.
We had problems at the beginning a little bit, but not real problems.
What?
Remember, I think that some of yours didn't like me.
Oh, yeah.
But I think I don't know if it was more outside, external, certain things that were affecting it. But for most of the part,
But Manny's family loves me.
100%. Everybody in my life loves her. The two answers are: they clearly dislike me but aren't rude enough to say it, or they love me and my family likes my partner.
That one.
That's about all of us.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, 25. Has your sex life taken a toll since the arguing? I mean,
Real quick, I wanted to back to the families liking you. This is a thought that came in my brain. Had Maddie dated a black guy before you?
No. So that was one of the interesting things when I first came into the situation, like the first time that I'm going to meet her parents and we're driving over to the house and I'm like, hey, they know I'm black, right? I asked that in the car and she looked at me and she started laughing and she's like, yes, they do. And I was like, okay, good, because I didn't know what I was about to walk into. Like, I was genuinely worried,
Yeah.
like their daughter. And again, part of that was just me assuming based off where they're at.
they live
Alabama.
in a small town in Alabama.
I was like, this could be really bad. Like, I love you, but man, that'd be rough. So, yeah, but their family loves me, and it was like a great fit. I mean, I'm like, in so many ways, it's interesting. Like, me and her dad are so alike in a lot of ways, even just our line of thought. And so it's funny because we connected instantly, and he's not the most affectionate guy, but like, when like Bruce is like, yeah, I like you, kid.
Yeah.
So that's where we're at.
Yeah. Has your sex life taken a toll since the arguing? Massive toll or not really, actually?
Meaning the arguing made your sex life worse?
Yeah. Like, has it taken a toll on your sex life?
No.
So for us, not really.
No, for us, not really, which that was one of the big things that we would not necessarily argue about, but that was one of the big things that we'd always have to talk about was our sex life. So during that time, there was a lot of like things happening with like hormones and stress and all that. And so I was like, I want to have sex a whole lot more. And part of that was just like, that's just me being like just some horny 20-year-old.
Yeah.
And so that was a big thing that was like, we would talk about. And I would be like, and so then we got past that. We worked past that. Maddie has worked on herself. I've worked on myself. So it's a lot better.
Yeah, we never argued about sex. We
Communicated.
We communicated. And I'm more, how do you say, I deflected because I knew Ange was going through things mentally, emotionally. So I would always feel bad if I wanted it and she didn't want it. I would be like, I'd rather go take care of myself than make her feel bad for not wanting it or have to hear, oh, I'm not in the mood or I don't feel good, because I know that in the beginning part of our marriage, it was difficult to have sex because of like physical stuff and mental stuff, emotional, which you talked about before, the trauma of purity culture and all this stuff, a lot to work through mentally, and I knew I couldn't help her work through it. So I just had to like hang out in the wings and try to figure out how to be okay without it, you know? And then it came to a head, and then we went to that marriage counseling, and which we've talked about before. So do you still go on adventures together? Rarely or always? We always. It's my favorite thing. Traveling, and we just drove across country, and it freaking filled my whole year up with hope. If you two broke up right now, would you be devastated or relieved?
Devastated.
Yeah.
Would you be devastated?
Yeah. Well, it depends on why we broke up. Like, if you pick somebody else over me, then I'd be like...
You better be devastated.
Yeah, but only for a little bit of time. Then I'm going to go out and go live my best life. And I'm going to be like... if you guys are keeping up with Dr. Dre or Kelly Clarkson, Dr. Dre has to pay his wife $300,000 a month.
Wow.
And Kelly Clarkson has to pay her husband $200,000 a month.
You trying to tell me you're going to make me pay alimony?
Damn, Skippy, if you pick out on me, if you skip out on me, I'm going to need you to...
I'm getting paid.
He's not going to get all the goods. I'm going to be like, nah.
Dude, Kelly Clarkson, $200,000.
$200,000.
I didn't know she had it like that.
Yeah, she has her own TV show now. Not to mention
many
she's
number
been,
one hits.
She's been killing it since the first
But
American
Dr.
Idol.
Dre is like, his net worth is
He's
like
a billionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
So he can pay his wife with the interest that he makes from his money in the bank. That's how much it's not hurting him. He could pay his wife with the interest and never lose a dollar.
sheesh.
That's how much money he has.
Wow.
Because think about it. You need 300 million
I don't know how Kelly got
to make 3 million
stiffed with that bill.
or 30 million to make 3 million. Because 10%
That's a
of...
lot of money.
So you got 30 million in the bank and it's earning 10%, or you got it in an investment. That's, that's 3 million a year, which is 300,000. So he has billion.
I want to divorce
It's
Dr.
not
Dre.
even affecting him. It's not even affecting him.
like Melinda Gates when she divorced from Bill Gates.
Oh my
mean,
God.
I mean, she
Yeah.
became the richest woman in the world.
That's insane.
Someone
Wow.
said, like, and again, this is kind of a Twitter joke or whatever. They're like, imagine you get a divorce and you become a billionaire and your ex-husband leaves to go to space. Ideal. Because Bezos just went to space. Anyways.
Okay, so devastated would be our answer. Okay, we're almost done. It's 28. Do you both have internal happiness?
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you, Jesus. Overall, has life gotten better since meeting each other? 1,000%.
Yes.
Yes.
1,000%. Okay. Ready for the real deal and winning?
Yeah.
After a while, every couple starts to argue quite a bit. But after the arguing, if the couple survives, they hit that point where they're just solid and happy together. They know how to handle arguments and avoid them. Get the hell out of here.
Ad.
Yeah. Really. Things become smooth sailing with two people who know that they work best together. You are headed to that point. So congratulations. You're on the way to happy stability. Just hang on. Come on, ads. Stop. I don't want you. Just hang in there and keep working towards resolutions. Be compassionate. It helps. Overall, so we're good, babe. Oh, we're 62.
Out of
Or no,
100?
No. This is the public overall public score.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so 29% is ready for the real deal but failing. 24% ready for the real deal and winning. 47% completely over.
Wow. Of people who took this quiz.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking this quiz,
You're definitely in the
it's
47%.
of where you're at in your
100%.
relationship.
Nobody takes this stuff for fun except for us.
Right. But
We-
okay, signs in your own life of past relationships. When did you know that it was over? And was it you, or were you like, oh, I don't think this person's into it anymore?
Yeah, one of the big things, and I wrote this down, was that there was no emotional connection. That the vulnerability and openness that we had was gone. And like, I'm a big thing, like in the sense, like I want to feel that emotional connection. I'm such a I'm a verbal processor, so I'm like, oh, I'll tell you exactly how I'm feeling, why I'm feeling it, and probably hopefully where I will feel when I get
Yeah.
to this place or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I remember with my ex, there came a point where we would get into all these just like petty arguments over stupid things. And we would always come back to the same place. So this is like 2.5 years into the relationship. We're coming back to the same exact thing every single time. And I started to feel myself close off, where I was like, I actually don't even care about her emotional well-being. Because at this point, I'm just so tired of this. Like, it's not even like I want to fight anymore for this. And so my heart just became like closed off. And I was like, I feel like I'm wasting my time being vulnerable and opening up with her when she's not reciprocating that on her end for her lack of trust that hasn't been like proven on my end.
Yeah.
So she had this distrust for me and I hadn't done anything wrong. And so that was one of the big things for me, where I was like, I'm in this dating relationship. We're in a committed dating relationship, but my heart isn't for you anymore. And when I felt that, I was like, yeah, this is kind of a sign of the end. Like at this point, it's like, if my heart's not in it, I'm wasting my time. And it was funny because during that time, I tried to like rationalize it. And I was like, well, on paper, I mean, she's not that bad.
Yeah.
And my mind was like trying to convince my heart to feel something.
Right.
And it was funny because I remember my mom told me this a long time ago. And she was telling me, she's like, Brandon, don't let your mind confuse your heart. And I've always thought about that. And I thought about that in the context of that. I was like, my heart was telling me, this is what's happening, B. there's no love flowing from your heart in this.
Yeah.
And your mind is trying to convince your heart to feel that.
Yeah.
And So then at that point I was like, yeah, that was one of the signs for me. I'm done. And that's when I dipped.
I would say for me, a relationship when I knew it was over was I saw all the red flags and I felt like 0 at the end of the day, but I was still making excuses. I was still like, oh, he's good on paper.
Yeah.
But he's so funny. He's so charming. He's so good looking. He's like, loves Jesus. All the things I've ever wanted. Like making all the excuses. And then I think one day I woke up and opened my eyes and actually acknowledged the red flags. Excuse me. And I think a biggest one for me was I had flown him out to a show and he would not not lay claim to me, but he like wouldn't put his arm over me. He wouldn't like be like, yeah, I'm with her. Any kind of like physicality or flirting with me or anything. It was like I brought out a business acquaintance on the trip with me. And until we were not in front of anyone, then the affection came. And I was so aware of it. And I remember falling along with it, being like, oh, this feels good.
Yeah.
An arm around me. Oh, you want me to like lay my head on your lap now? Oh, hello, son.
Bonzo. That was
Our
rude.
guard dog.
We are on a podcast.
But so in the moment, I was like, oh, this feels good. Like finally he's like showing me affection. Finally. But then at the same time, I was like, ew, finally? Like when nobody's looking and like when we're by ourselves and like,
Yeah.
ew. And then I started to realize like how I had been treated this whole time. And I was like, I don't like this. I think this relationship is done.
I knew a relationship was done when I started being afraid of my friends asking me, hey, so how's so-and-so?
Ooh.
That's a good one.
That is a good one.
When you're just like, you know you're going to hang out with friends, you know you're going to talk to your parents, and they know you're with someone, and the polite thing to do is, hey, where's so-and-so? Or how's so-and-so? I knew if I was dreading that question, then I'm in the wrong thing. Because I'm going to have to make up a lie, or I'm going to, here I go again. I'm going to tell them how bad it is, or, you know, like I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say except for it sucks. So that
or
would
would you lie and be like, good, yeah, we're good.
Yeah,
Cool.
No, because they knew. Like my real friends knew.
Yeah.
Like I can't. You can't really front on that. You can't. Oh, it's great. Everything's great. I'm not that kind of person. They'll see right through me. If you're good at lying, then maybe. Oh God, gosh, she's great. She's you know, she's like I can't lie that well. I'm just gonna be like, man, it freaking sucks. So I knew that when I stopped looking forward to people asking me that, then I knew I was like, oh, this is donezo.
That's funny.
That's a good tale.
Yeah, the friends do know. I remember in my last relationship, I was down here visiting William actually, and we were out to eat, and my sister hated my last relationship. Like absolutely despised that girl. All the time would just be giving her dirty looks and just like can't stand her. And I was like, I was thinking in my mind, I was like, oh, my sister, she'll come around. She's good. But we were out to eat, and Brittany was talking about my girlfriend in front of me. Like just like bad mouthing her, you know? And I'm just sitting there like taking it like, I guess you deserve to have your opinion, yada, yada, yada. I'm not going to listen to it. And then William reaches across the table. He grabs Brittany's hand and he goes, Brittany, don't worry about it. Brandon knows. They'll break up soon. You're good. And I remember inside I was like, wow, how rude. But at the same time, too, I was like, oh, he knows. Like, I can't hide behind the lie.
You can't.
Because at that point, yeah, I knew. And one of the other things that I knew that our relationship was over was that the conflict that we had in our relationship was constant, but I stopped even bothering to fight. Like, it's like one thing, like when you are able to like get to a resolution with the problem and stuff, and you're like, yeah, I'm willing to work on this because this means so much to me. When you lose that, like when you lose your fight to actually come to a resolution, yeah, you're done.
Yeah.
Like that's it. And at that point, I remember I wouldn't even like argue with her. I just kept saying sorry for a bunch of shit that I didn't even do. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. And it was like, I'm not even going to expend my energy to try and fight for this. And so that's when I knew, when the conflict was constant and I stopped even bothering to fight.
And you're right. The friend cosign is so important because your friends help you see because they don't have the love goggles on that you have. And even in the situation that I gave the story about, I didn't just come to my senses. I was helped by multiple people on that trip also noticing those things and voicing those things to me. And one of those was my sister, who just the next morning after that whole show and everything, because we stayed the night at her house, she just goes, he's not the one. And that was it. That's all she had to say. She goes, yeah, he's not the one.
You can always tell, like I can always tell, like even some of our friends that get into bad relationships, they don't want to bring up. They will only talk about the relationship if you ask. When truly happy people can't wait to bring up the relationship. They'll bring it up without you even ask. They'll find way. Oh, you know what so-and-so did? Or you know.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, but also I have a friend who is now engaged to be married with this girl. We all love her. He has a baby with her. Like, we all love this little family union. But they had been together for 4 years, and I never knew about it. He never brought her up.
Oh, whoa.
He was still trying to figure it out.
For 4 years. And I remember being on the road with him, and somebody else said something about his girlfriend. I was like, girlfriend? You have a girlfriend? And he's like, yeah, for like 4 years. And I'm like, why do you never talk about her? Do you not like her? And I remember saying that to him, like, do you even like her? You've never talked about her. Like, what?
That's weird.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess he was just super private. Because even still, now he talks more now. They're engaged. They have a baby. Obviously, it's like
I don't
family.
care how private you are.
Yeah.
Because then that would say more about you.
And this was years ago. They've been together for a very long time now. So he was younger and probably still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And also, there's lots of girls at my shows. So
he don't want you cock blocking. Yeah, if he tells you, he automatically makes you accountability partner. If he still wants to go, have fun.
If he still wants to have tryouts for the team, I mean, sheesh.
He
needs a starting five. I mean,
man. Okay, so if you took this relationship, I'm gonna put the link in the description. But we took the relationship on Quizony.com. That's QUIZONY.com. Quizony.
Remember Quiznos?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not this.
Okay.
We're going to put it in the description. And if you took the test with us, let us know what you scored.
Let us know if you're breaking up.
Or you should break up. And we're sorry if you are. And we didn't mean to do it.
You're welcome.
And
if you are breaking up, listen to the other podcast we did called Stop Asking Why.
Stop Asking Why.
Yeah.
Relationships need to
do the
done.
work. Do it.
Yeah. We love you guys.
Another thing too, because I wrote this down, is that another reason where I knew this is over was we couldn't agree what the problem was.
Oh, you don't even remember?
No,
You're
like we couldn't come to agreement. Like, this is the actual issue that's going on here. She had her take, I had my take, and it was like we couldn't seem to agree on anything. But then when we would get into the arguments, we couldn't agree what the actual root problem was.
Yeah. Because then, at that point, you're just arguing to argue.
Yeah. And then it was like, yeah, this is not fun anymore. Like, the love is lost. There's not the emotional connection. Trust on her end is gone. And I don't have any fight left in me. Mm-hmm. And we can't even agree what the problem is here. Yep. All right. Let's see ourselves out.
Yep.
Thanks for 2.5 years,
Damn.
Man, we really do hope. I know we're kind of laughing, but this test probably is very different for some of you. If you're hearing this, it can be a sad test to take, and we definitely want to hold space for you in that. So if you want to reach out to us, if you want to, just please DM any one of us. Probably not Ange. She does not answer her DMs. But
every now and then, you might be one of the lucky ones that I just felt in the mood.
She has a lot of people DMing her, but you can DM us and we'll hit you back and listen, have an ear, Yeah. So we really do hope that most of you who took the test are happy, and if you're not, we are here for you. and we want to hold space. We love you again. Shout out to the Patreon community. Couldn't do it without you. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon member and supporting us every month,
Thank you, Patreon.
the link will be there, and it's a good community we're having there. So we love you guys. We pray you find a seat at the table, but if you don't, you are always welcome at ours.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.